Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. was born on November 20th, 1942, in Scranton, Pennsylvania, to Catherine Eugenia Jean Finnegan and Joseph Robinette Biden Sr. His early years were marked by a modest upbringing, but they were filled with love and support from his family. However, one aspect of his childhood stood out, a stutter that would shape his character and resilience. In middle school, Biden was mocked by a teacher who imitated his stutter in front of the class. This humiliation left a lasting impression on him. Kids at school nicknamed him Dash because his speech sounded like Morse code. The ridicule ate away at him, but Biden was determined to overcome it. He practiced relentlessly, reciting passages from literature and learning to anticipate questions so he could respond without stumbling. This early struggle with his stutter instilled in him a deep sense of perseverance and a belief that he had to fight for the respect he felt he deserved. After graduating from high school, Biden attended the University of Delaware, where he played football and worked as a lifeguard. It was during his junior year that he met Nelia Hunter, who would become his first wife. The two married shortly after Biden graduated, and he decided to pursue a career in law. However, law school was far from smooth sailing. Biden struggled academically and even plagiarized a law review article, which nearly derailed his legal career. He managed to graduate, but his academic performance was lackluster, 76th in a class of 85. Despite this rocky start, Biden was determined to make something of himself. He and Nelia moved to the suburbs, where they started a family. They had 3 children: Joseph, Beau, Biden III, Hunter Biden, and Naomi Biden. Life seemed to be settling into a predictable rhythm, but Biden harbored ambitions far beyond the confines of a suburban law practice. Biden's political aspirations began to take shape early in his life. He once told Nelia's mother that he would one day become president, a bold declaration for a young man with no political experience. In 1972, at the age of 29, Biden took his first step toward that goal by running for the U.S. Senate in Delaware. The odds were heavily stacked against him. His opponent, incumbent Senator Caleb Boggs, was a popular and well-established figure in Delaware politics. Many believed Biden had no chance, but he campaigned tirelessly, crisscrossing the state with Nelia and their children by his side. His youth and energy became his greatest assets, and he positioned himself as a fresh face for a new generation. Biden's campaign focused on issues like crime and drug addiction, resonating with voters who were looking for change. On Election Day, Biden pulled off a stunning upset, defeating Boggs by just over 3,000 votes. At 29, he became one of the youngest people ever elected to the U.S. Senate. But Biden's triumph was short-lived. Just weeks after his victory, tragedy struck. Nelia and their 1-year-old daughter, Naomi, were killed in a car accident while Christmas shopping. Beau and Hunter were also in the car and were seriously injured. The loss devastated Biden. He later recalled feeling as though his life had been shattered, and he even contemplated resigning from the Senate. However, he decided to stay in office, partly to provide stability for his surviving sons. Biden was sworn in as a senator from Beau's hospital room, a poignant symbol of his commitment to his family. For the next 36 years, Biden would commute daily between Washington, D.C. and Wilmington, Delaware, so he could be home every night to tuck his boys into bed. This dedication to his family became a defining feature of his life and career. In the Senate, Biden quickly established himself as a hard-working and pragmatic legislator. He focused on issues like consumer protection, crime, and campaign finance reform, earning a reputation as someone who could work across the aisle. His ability to build relationships with colleagues from both parties was one of his greatest strengths. Biden was appointed to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee less than 3 years after taking office, a significant achievement for a junior senator. His approach to foreign policy was conventional but effective. He believed in the United States as a force for good in the world and saw communism as a major threat. However, he also advocated for finding common ground with the Soviet Union on issues like arms control. Biden's predictability and willingness to compromise made him a respected figure in Washington. In 1977, Biden married Jill Jacobs, a teacher who would become a steadfast partner in his life and career. Jill brought stability and joy back into Biden's life. and together they raised Beau and Hunter, as well as their daughter Ashley, who was born in 1981. With his family life on more solid ground, Biden began to focus more intently on his political career. He won re-election to the Senate in 1978 with ease, and his influence continued to grow. By the early 1980s, Biden was a prominent figure in the Democratic Party, known for his work on foreign policy and his ability to connect with voters. In 1987, Biden decided to run for president. He announced his candidacy with a speech that echoed the idealism of John F. Kennedy, but his campaign quickly ran into trouble. Biden struggled to define his message and was accused of plagiarizing parts of a speech from British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock. The scandal, combined with revelations about his past plagiarism in law school, forced Biden to withdraw from the race just 4 months after announcing his candidacy. The failed campaign was a humiliating setback, but it may have saved Biden's life. Shortly after dropping out, he was diagnosed with a brain aneurysm and underwent life-saving surgery. The experience gave Biden a new perspective on life and politics, and he returned to the Senate with a renewed sense of purpose. Throughout the 1990s, Biden continued to build his reputation as a skilled legislator and a voice of moderation within the Democratic Party. He played a key role in the passage of the 1994 Crime Bill, a controversial piece of legislation that aimed to address rising crime rates, but has since been criticized for contributing to mass incarceration. Biden also chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee during the contentious confirmation hearings for Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, who was accused of sexual harassment by Anita Hill. The hearings were a defining moment in Biden's career, and his handling of the proceedings has been both praised and criticized over the years. In 2007, Biden made another run for the presidency, but his campaign failed to gain traction. He dropped out after a poor showing in the Iowa caucus, and many believed his political career was over. However, Biden's fortunes changed when Barack Obama, the Democratic nominee, selected him as his running mate. As vice president, Biden became a trusted advisor to Obama and played a key role in shaping the administration's policies, particularly on foreign affairs and the economic recovery following the 2008 financial crisis. Biden's experience and ability to connect with working-class voters made him a valuable asset to the Obama campaign, and he helped deliver key states like Pennsylvania and Ohio. Biden's time as vice president was marked by both triumphs and personal tragedies. In 2015, his son Beau died of brain cancer at the age of 46. The loss was devastating for Biden, who had already endured so much personal pain. Despite his grief, Biden remained committed to public service and began to consider another run for the presidency. In 2020, he announced his candidacy, positioning himself as a unifying figure who could restore dignity to the White House after the tumultuous presidency of Donald Trump. Biden's campaign focused on issues like healthcare, climate change, and racial justice, and he promised to heal the divisions that had deepened during Trump's tenure. The 2020 election was one of the most tenuous in American history, but Biden emerged victorious, defeating Trump and becoming the 46th president of the United States. At 78, he was the oldest person ever elected to the presidency, a testament to his resilience and determination. Biden's journey from a stuttering child in Scranton to the highest office in the land is a story of perseverance, tragedy, and an unyielding belief in the power of family and public service. His life has been defined by a constant struggle for respect and a commitment to fighting for those who have been overlooked or marginalized. Joe Biden's story is a testament to the enduring power of hope and the belief that, no matter the obstacles, it is always possible to rise again.